Hello, everybody, and welcome to the live pre-market show with yours truly, Mandela Fubler here. We're pre-recording this uh, on the night before, so it's actually Wednesday night, getting up to almost 9 o'clock in Bermuda in the evening. So when you watch this, we would have recorded this roughly 12 hours earlier. But we're gonna share what we've been seeing in the markets. It's been a very interesting week since our last show, and I'm happy to report that the microphone is working. We're gonna pop on a little bit of music here just to get the vibes going. Want to say a special shout out to CTI, City Traders Imperium, sponsoring this show, and we're also very proud to say that we will be having a live show tomorrow as well. So it will be tomorrow morning at the same time, same place as this on the CTI YouTube channel and also simulcast on our own channel, Signature FX. All details in the description. Okay, let's share this. Okay, so this is kind of showing the last few days in S&P, pretty much um, giving us a little idea of what's happened. This was the move that we got on last week Thursday, and then we gapped down overnight into Friday, and then we got a little gap up on Monday here. This is where we're sitting today, so kind of middle of the range, I would say, compared to the all-time high, going down to the lows on last Friday. So I'm thinking here is a bit of a little bit of no man's land, a little bit of a balance position that we're in. So you want to be a little cautious going into the trading day as you're watching this on Thursday, the 7th of August. So what do we have? What do we have in mind for the rest of the week? Well, we're going to be looking for some really, really key levels. I think one of the main things for us is going to be, are we able to break above these highs that we've seen this week? We had a little bit of a sort of stalled end to the day on Wednesday, not really following through much. So I think key for us is sort of 6,350 on the SPX. If you trade futures, that's going to be slightly higher, maybe closer to 6,370. But you just want to take a look if you're trading ES futures, S&P futures. Look at the highs that we've seen this week. So Tuesday's high and then today's highs. If we cannot get through those, I would be very cautious if we move back lower here. So interesting to see how we progress over the trading session today. Also, one thing to have a look at is BTC. So BTC moving higher today, having a nice little move higher today. We've gotten a little bit of a pullback in BTC. If we zoom out a little and move this over here. Okay, so BTC is looking a little bit like the dip buyers are starting to come in here. So bit of a move down here. I think took out quite a few stop losses. If you imagine sort of like a barrier of stop losses building up here. And we kind of broke right through those. So if you imagine this being quite a few stops, and now looks like we've moved down through those, and next step here is starting to get a bit of a bounce, I guess you could call it. If we are able to kind of approach again these highs, remember this is the all-time high, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. If we are able to get back through this, what would have been the lows before, If we can push through that, I would be looking to look to kind of trend follow this in the upward direction here, subject to any changes in news or any headlines that may come out. I think this is the path of least resistance here. We can keep an eye on that. Tomorrow, so on Friday's show, we will be discussing the commitment of traders. So you're not going to want to miss that. That's the Friday pre-market show. Yours truly, Mandela Fobler, and we also have Andrew, who are, we're happy to take questions live. We'll have a live chat engaged. So feel free to post in the live chat, and we'll be happy to post those comments for everybody to see. We'll discuss in more detail what the commitment of traders is looking like, and how the commitment of traders is giving us indications of where we may or yeah, more or less where we will move to next. So yeah, that's Bitcoin for us. I know there are quite a few Bitcoin fans, Bitcoin followers in the various communities. So we always like to keep an eye out on Bitcoin. I know there are a lot of other coins as well. There's XRP, there's Solana, there's Ethereum, there's Binance Coin, Doge. We can go on and on, but for now we'll just have a quick look at Bitcoin, and then when we have our show on Friday, we'll have the live chat, and we'll be able to take your questions and speak to the charts that you're kind of requesting. All right, what else is moving here? So US dollar has been an interesting case. It's kind of come off a bit. So if we just look at the dollar since over the last month, we're kind of in another middle of the range, so very similar to where we are in S&P. Let's do a little line here. Let's go with this one. All right, so kind of middle of the line. So that's terrible. Let's do this one. Okay, so if this is the upper band, and then this is the lower band that we got. This was a 3-year low in the dollar. We're more or less kind of in the middle, right? I think more or less we're kind of halfway between these lows that we saw beginning of July and these highs that we saw towards the end of July. So I do think that the next few trading sessions could really dictate where the dollar is headed. Today it was more or less flat. Actually, I think it was down today. This would be overnight, so this is already reset. But yeah, slightly softer today on the dollar, and I'm very keen to see how we finish out the week. If it's a softer finish to the week or lower finish to the week, then I don't know. I think we could very well test these lows back down here at around the $96 level. So keeping an eye out on dollar. Dollar tends to also dictate where a lot of the dollar pairs go. So we have Aussie dollar here. If there's dollar weakness, Aussie dollar moves up. Similarly, dollar weakness, we'll see euro also go up. And pound dollar go up. So I think it's the question that a lot of forex traders are asking, and that's where the FX in Signature FX comes from. It's the forex aspect. So we'll see. I think between tomorrow and Friday, we could get a nice move in the dollar, and we'll be keeping our eyes peeled on where we move from here. Another one to look at, I guess, is gold. So gold has, interestingly, let's have a look here. So interestingly for gold, we hit the all-time high here back in April. Came off a little bit, tried to get back towards the all-time high, which happens to be 3,500. We broke through what I guess was a makeshift trend line. I guess we can see the bottom of the trend line here a little bit better. And then interesting that we're hugging the trend line again. So by no means is this anything magical, other than we got 2 touches off of it earlier on in April, and February was the start of it. But we're staying very close to it, so I think it's going to resolve either to the upside or to the downside. So we'll be updating this view tomorrow on tomorrow's show. But as long as we kind of stay here, I think it's a very sort of pivotal moment here for gold. There have been a lot of central banks purchasing gold. Gold miners also have been doing really well over the last few days. Gold miners are outperforming gold, which is also a positive sign. And we'll have a look tomorrow at what the commitment of traders are showing from a institutional positioning perspective, and also looking at retail traders to see how retail traders are positioned in relation to institutional traders. So look out for that tomorrow on tomorrow morning's show, same time, same place. And then if we scroll down, so we can have a look at NASDAQ, I guess. Still, there we go. So this would have been NASDAQ from, here we go. So from yesterday's close, moving higher today, and pushing higher. We got some news late in the day. I believe Trump is threatening 100% tariffs for chips not made in the US. And then we had a speech or some presentation. I actually missed the presentation, but I saw the headline that Apple is announcing bringing more jobs in the US, or having more jobs in the US. So Apple, I think, got a positive reaction off of that, and as a result, NASDAQ as well getting a good reaction off of that news. So we're very keen to kind of see how things unfold. I think there's still a level of hurry up and wait or pause in the market right now. A little bit difficult to really get stuck in, and until we kind of see how things are going to resolve, we're very, very cautious, and trading very, very strategically here. Now, before any further ado, we're gonna quickly take a moment just to have a little bit of a word from CTI, and we'll be right back after these words. Welcome back, one and all, to the pre-market show. Yours truly, Mandela, here on the CTI YouTube channel, simulcast on the Signature FX YouTube channel. Feel free to take an opportunity to put a comment, place a comment in the live chat. We are very, very grateful for everybody who is watching this show today. It's Thursday, the 7th, lucky number 7 of August. You're watching the pre-market show. As we go through and see what's happening in markets. We're pre-recording this, so not live today, but we'll be live tomorrow. But feel free to post some comments in the comment section and also in the live chat. We have Justina, who is helping to organize all the comments and respond to you in a promptly fashion. Also remember to subscribe. That's what keeps this content fresh, clean, and clear, and allows us to produce these on a weekly basis very, very, very consistently. All right, so we're looking at earnings. So tonight, because we're recording it the night before, tonight we had quite a good amount of earnings announcements, and what we'll do is we're going to just remind you, just comment in the comment box so we can get all your comments. We'll have a look at those and we'll be addressing them as well tomorrow on our live show tomorrow. Okay, so earnings wise, let's have a look and see what was some of the headlines that we've gotten. So earlier in the week we had Palantir. That was a monster. In their speech, they actually apologized to all the haters for outperforming so miraculously. So a lot of confidence there on Palantir. Great earnings report on Monday. Also, Hims and Hers did had a bit of a dip after earnings. So that was another one. And then Mercado, I believe they also dipped as well after earnings. Big names, if we go forward, let's fast forward here to where we are today. So we would have just gotten AppLovin. So we'll have a look at that one. IONQ is another big one. Symbiotic. We can have a look at these very quickly. Duolingo. Tomorrow we have D-Wave. So D-Wave and IONQ, they're both quantum stocks. So anybody familiar with quantum technology, you would be very familiar with D-Wave and IONQ. So Eli Lilly is also going to be reporting before the bell. So by the time you watch this, we probably would have at least gotten the numbers out of D-Wave, Celsius, Eli Lilly, and ConocoPhillips. But let's take one step at a time. Let's have a look at AppLovin, because I think, especially for those of you who do not trade earnings, you may want to know what the impacts are. How does this actually impact markets? So AppLovin, if we go in here and have a look and see how they've moved since the earnings report. There we go. Earnings after market close. So a little messy. So not really any major reaction. I guess you could say it's down, but it did move back up. So a little bit of confusion here from aftermarket traders in AppLovin. But this is the reason we like to look at earnings. So market would have closed here, dropped lower, up, down, up, down. I'm not suggesting that you trade this, but these are definitely the stocks to watch overnight and into the open for tomorrow. If I have a look at the list one more time, we also got IONQ, and I had a look at this earlier. It didn't really move as much as I thought it would have. IONQ, but it may have moved after I checked it. Let's see. Yeah, moved down slightly. Yeah, so after earnings here, moving lower So down just under 5% for the quantum stock IONQ. Interesting to see that move as well. Let's do Symbiotic SYM. Here we go. SYM. Okay, so earnings, sometimes we'll have a look at the first, or the second best earnings movers for the week. This one moved quite a bit, and you can see a bit of, let's move this over. You can see a little bit of follow through as well. So Symbiotic is an automation company doing reimagining the supply chain. So down 18% in after hours. So this is where it closed, finished the day. And that's a fairly sharp drop. Bounced a little, but that was very short-lived and then finished at what would be a new low here. So interesting move for Symbiotic after earnings. So any of you who do trade individual stocks and are interested in getting more information about the earnings reports, feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to kind of walk you through our strategies and our thinking behind earnings. Last one I'll have a look at is Duolingo. There we go. I didn't spell that right. Okay, there we go. So Duolingo after earnings up massively. And there's a funny, are they going to show us the price action? No, they're not. It's funny because on Bloomberg, they actually have an ad or promotion for Duolingo, which says they always outperform earnings. They always beat earnings. They're always growing better than expected for earnings, and they did it again. So big mover again, 18%. Not sure why we're not getting the chart to kind of correspond that, but that's fine as well. So just looking at earnings, I mean, earnings tends to be one of those things where we don't always trade it. We like to more or less track it and keep an eye on it a little in terms of what's moving and what's not. Earlier today, we would have gotten, let's say yesterday. I keep thinking this is live. So yesterday we would have gotten Walt Disney at the open. So yesterday's open. And Disney today moved down throughout the day. They announced that they were selling 10% of ESPN to the NFL, if I get that right. I think I got that right. NFL ESPN deal is a big win for Disney. Yeah, so 10% of the ESPN subsidiary is going to be bought by the NFL in a deal. So it doesn't look like shareholders really cared much about that. I also think some of their amusement parks kind of came in line, but nothing spectacular. So that's it. Let's wrap up the earnings section. But this earnings chart is something that we find very helpful. So for this morning, just keep an eye out on the quantum stock D-Wave if you are trading today and you do have it in your portfolio. Celsius the same, Eli Lilly, ConocoPhillips, Hunt 8 is a crypto company. And Cerny, I used to love Cerny. And then after the close today, the Trade Desk is a big one, and Rocket Labs is also a big one. SoundHound is also an industry sort of mover and shaker, and then Block as well. Pinterest tends to surprise. So that's the earnings for today. So keep an eye out on that. Keep your eyes peeled on that. In terms of the biggest movers today, well, Apple uh, let's say yesterday. The biggest movers yesterday, because I'm recording this on Wednesday night and you're watching this on Thursday morning. The biggest movers yesterday were Apple, moving just over 5%, Walmart 4%, Amazon 4%, Tesla, surprisingly, finishing 3.6%. On the downside, we had AMD down over 6% after announcing earnings, funnily enough. Amgen down 5%, Emerson Electric down over 4.7%, and Thermo Fisher Scientific also down 3.75% yesterday. We can actually hide that, can we? Yes. I think we can kind of leave this as is and go straight to our wrap up. So overall summary is today was a fairly straightforward day, I think, in terms of US equities. It was a green day. It was an up day. A lot of news coming out of the White House, and I think we're in for another jam-packed day today, on the day that you're watching this. So we'll be watching very, very closely to see how things develop. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be live and direct from the Signature FX YouTube channel and simulcast on CTI's YouTube channel. At the moment, we are in Bermuda, so streaming from Bermuda, and we are very happy to be sharing our thoughts and our ideas with you. Feel free to reach out to us. Our contact details are down right below this video. If you minimize, if you're full screen, minimize. If you're able to scroll down, have a look in the description. We have our X, aka Twitter details. And from there, you can find us on YouTube. My name is Mandela, and very, very pleased to be doing these videos with you. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be joined by the Signature FX co-founder, Andrew, and we'll be discussing what's going on, what's moving, what's shaking. We also have a side bet that we're going to be resolving tomorrow, and we'll be engaging with each and every one of you in the live chat. So tomorrow, look out for us asking questions in the live chat. We can also probably do a few questions or polls, try and gauge some interest from you in the live chat. So that would be, I think, very, very positive, very helpful for us as well. And with that, I'm going to leave you with that and say have a wonderful day. Enjoy Thursday, the 7th of April. I feel like, yeah, it's one of those days where you kind of have to be a little bit cautious. There's not a whole, let's have a look. I was going to say there's not a whole lot of news. But before I say that, I just want to take a look and see for myself what we got. Okay, so let's pop that up. Okay, so some news out. So just before you watch this, we would have gotten Bank of England's interest rate. They're expected to cut by 25 bips, 0.25%. So that's tomorrow. Oh, that's a few minutes ago. And then U.S. unemployment claims, that could be a market mover. So we want to keep an eye out for that as well. Nothing else major for the rest of the day. 30-year bond auction potentially could give us a little bit of a surprise. And then the rest is fairly normal course of business type stuff. But I would be keen to also have a look at Donald Trump's calendar tomorrow, see what Trump has to say, what he's planning to say for tomorrow. And with that, I'm going to say have a wonderful day. You've been watching the pre-market show. It's yours truly, Mandela here, and always a pleasure to jump on and to kind of share my thoughts. Thanks again, everybody who is tuned in, who's watching. Um, we can't do this without you. And just remember today, don't try and overtrade. Try and pick your spots. And if the trade presents itself, that's when you actually you press go. But don't force it. I think that's one of the messages for today. Just don't force it. Be patient, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Andrew and I will be on the pre-market show, ready to do this all again. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Be safe, and until next time, happy trading.